Lonely Attack on the Different World, web novel, chapter 98. No response. Seems these are just corpses. Even their eyes turned to X marks. Day 38, morning, Guild of Adventurers, training grounds. Such a pain. Teleportation-san is way too difficult. Using it with the same feeling as movement instantly transports me? If it was a movie, I would change the location literally in the next frame. The movements got faster, making it harder to combine them as they turned jerky and unwieldy. My speed got higher, faster for the worth of intermedial frames that get skipped. Moving arms, legs, hips, back, shoulders, or anything else will be considered movement and thus trigger teleportation. In other words, allow for instantaneous movement. And then it will all be affected by corrections from instantaneous movement level 8. It's such a mess. In addition, walking evolved into Swiftfoot, further increasing my speed. This alone makes it close to Shukuchi or Flash Step. The overall sensation is too different. I don't think this is how humans are supposed to move. All of the movements are too abrupt, like a combination of sudden blast-offs and sudden stops, a mishmash. I had Armored Prez-san help me with the practice, but I'm getting battered. I can now take her on through speed, but on the other hand, my movements worsened, creating new exploitable openings. Imagine showing an opening to someone who can whack you, even without any openings. The result would be a very heavy beating. Magic wrapping is also annoying, another evolved ability. My guess is that it can buff absolutely everything. Body, equipment, and even magic power itself, and quite drastically. My body screams in protest to the movements that exceed the limit of my current stats. It hurts all over. A forced enhancement followed by forced movements. Getting used to it, comparing and adjusting, I connect and combine movements together, yet it's still a shaky mess, and then I'd get beaten as well. My body can't keep up with my own movements, getting wounded from it. I'm about to completely crumple. Let's take a break. My HP already went reduced to double digits from this self-inflicted damage. Since being the only one who is battered, tattered, and beaten up is frustrating, I also taunt the president and other onlookers to try and practice with her as well. They should be getting beaten up as well. They can't overpower her with 5 times higher level and stats, and since they can't get countered through technique. Meaning they will get the hell beaten out of them. Free beatings for everyone. Even when they tried to use numbers and attempted a saturation attack with 25 people, they still couldn't overwhelm her, and since they can't suppress her, they will be countered through technique, meaning they will get the hell beaten out of them. Pounded hard. Even if they use group tactics and try to attack in waves, they still can't break through her defenses, and since they can't, they will be demolished through technique. Meaning they get the hell beaten out of them. Utterly. Though the classmates also learned during this mock battle, cutting down inefficiencies, revising their movements, chaining their actions, polishing sword techniques, they still couldn't reach her. It's not a height one can possibly reach. To put it bluntly, she is basically the stratosphere. Her technique is insane, but her talent is even more amazing. It's just something completely different. Each stroke of her sword bears multiple outlines, and you are damned if you can't read through all of them. She is capable of shattering even tactics through the power of her sword alone. I hope this teaches them how hard I had it. It's impossible to even stave her off. This training is just one step away from assisted suicide. Enjoy your beating. And now, to begin with, why am I the only one who always gets beaten up? Don't you feel sorry for me? Isn't it me-based discrimination? I'm getting abused here. That's right. Everyone should get beaten. If everyone gets beaten up, then we will all be equal. There's a mountain of people beaten so badly they can't move anymore. Since they also don't reply when called out to, it's probably a mountain of corpses. Everyone has X marks for eyes. There is still time until lunch, and Armored Prez-san is beckoning me. Let's get beaten up some more. I also just got rid of my stress, though pretty soon it will accumulate once again. My only regret is that the time ran out before I could burn the geek's head. Those bastards. At the end, they focused their barriers solely on their heads. On top of that, they even layered them one over another. Even a completed Inferno head-roasting edition couldn't get through it. Yes, let's try again tomorrow, this time with Meteor. And then another round of abuse called training has begun. It is also known under the nickname of bullying. As the flurry of cuts that allows not a moment of hesitation encloses upon me, I concentrate on fending them off, simply focusing on moving quicker, more efficiently, slashing back in the shortest time over the shortest trajectory. I keep clashing swords with her over and over, while feeling every single motion, every single movement of my body, every shift in my center of gravity. I chain the movements, merging them, refining them, and adjusting them. Back and forth, up and down, left and right, one by one. Confirming and checking every single one, I fix them into a memory as a single technique, as a singular motion, blending them into one. Each movement, every step, every breath, one by one. This is still not Kyojitsu. They still didn't merge together. They are fast, but that's about it. They still cannot be called a technique. Defend as I hit, strike as I repel, dodge and evade, attack and push. I will get beaten if my movements unravel. It's just practice, ultimately, practice in being beaten. A practice so close to bullying that it transcends it. Or actually, Armored Prez-san, aren't you getting a tad bit too serious when dealing with me? Aren't you very, very, very much lacking in restraint? You were a lot gentler on everyone else, and you seem to be kind of enjoying it. Get beaten right now. However, I, at the very least, have to learn how to use magic wrapping and Kyojitsu. Falling on either of the two will be a serious problem. A misfire could mean my death. I have to at least grasp the form. But if she won't go easier on me, I will self-destruct before I can do that. I'm so over my limit that I lose HP every time I move. I'm on the verge of dying from this practice, for real. Even if I can somehow handle her attacks, the self-inflicted damage keeps increasing. By noon, my HP was in the single digits. I really will die, you know. Like, normally, or actually, I'm the master here, no? Just what is a master?